Hello, this is Catherine from Accelerated Reader, reading books for you. Today, I will be reading Part 2, Teresa the Queen, Chapter 29, from Two Worlds, a novel of friends and foes from strange places, by Laura T. Lee. Before I begin reading, I would like to give a big thanks to the author for sending me this book to read on my channel. In the description below, I've included links where you may find and purchase this book. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Chapter 29. Lily groaned and grabbed her sword. What kind of wake-up call is a bunch of dwarfs? She demanded. It's a very effective one, Tara said. Hurry up! Snatching up her loudspeaker, Lily rushed out of her room and ran down the hallway. Elves were running all over the place, screaming, and basically making things much harder for everyone else to save the world. Jake ran over. He had gotten a new sword. Judging from the cuts on his hands, he had already joined the fight. Lily yelled into her loudspeaker. Stacy, where are you? We need you. Ow! Everybody, will you just stop moving for 1 second? As elves josted her and nearly knocked her over, the dwarfs screamed obscenities and shook their weapons, terrorizing hysterical citizens. Dang it, freaking stupid crappy, Jake yelled as he ran into the chaos. Language people! Stacy appeared behind Tara. Okay, now hopefully we're ready to fight. Right, guys? Tara said. I suck at fighting, Stacy whined. Nonsense. Everybody can fight, Tara chided. Now come on. Lily knocked the first dwarf out with a well-aimed punch as the others jumped into action. Suddenly, a group of about 100 dwarfs raised their swords and charged straight at them, as if they weren't already occupied and outnumbered already. Lily brought up her own sword. Watching Jake fight with his sword probably saved Lily's life. She barely managed to defend herself with the sword techniques that Jake used. The best offense maneuver she could do was cut the blade off a dwarf's sword, which worked well enough. Jake shouted, "Take that, and that, and oh, run away already," as he hacked away with his own sword. Lily feared that it wouldn't be long before the dwarfs put forward the more dangerous weapons into the battle. Tara, Stacy, evacuate the elves, she cried. She tossed Tara her loudspeaker and ducked to avoid a jumping dwarf with a club. Tara rolled and smashed the loudspeaker, which thankfully didn't break over a dwarf's head before ordering the elves to evacuate. Stacy had vanished somewhere else among the crowd. A very fat and small dwarf waddled toward Lily with a small blade in his hands. Lily kicked him over and yelled in pain. The dwarf felt like a bag of cement, heavy and very painful to kick. Lily, get some more weapons, Tara said. Lily dodged another jumping dwarf and ran for the armory, pushing her way through elves and dwarfs with her sword in its sheath. She grabbed a dagger for herself, a sword for Tara, and a dart gun for Stacy. Lily also snatched up a bag of ultra-explosive grenades. Throwing the sword to Tara, she ran outside the northern tower, where 2,000 more dwarfs awaited her. Hey, Jake, catch! She yelled. She dug a grenade out of the bag and lobbed it at Jake, who promptly caught it, pressed the detonation button and batted it away with his sword, baseball style. The grenade sailed right into the middle of the dwarfs and exploded. Boom! Dwarfs flew everywhere. 10 dwarfs crashed into Jake, who fell over. Lily drew both of her blades and started fighting the remaining dwarf crowd. Turns out she wasn't too bad with the dagger. It worked wonderfully. She used the dagger to block attacks and her sword to attack. The Alpha 201 appeared above in the sky. Lily could see Stacy sitting inside the cockpit. A ladder dropped and Lily grabbed one rung. Hold on tight as the ladder retracted into the spaceship. Welcome aboard to Alpha 201, Stacy announced. I got you this, Lily said. She handed Stacy the dart gun. Stacy pressed a button on the piloting console and part of the front windshield slid back. Open the window and chuck a few grenades out for me, Stacy said. Lily yanked open the side window and began dropping grenades on the dwarves' heads as the aircraft rose higher into the sky. Various weapons sailed through the open window, forcing Lily to duck. Stacy let go of the driving wheel with one hand and raised the dart gun. Lily shrieked and slammed the window shut as a dwarf's grenade exploded against the glass. Bang! What the crap was that? Lily said. The remnants of a grenade shell were lodged in one of the now damaged engines, sparking and sizzling. Lily was thrown across the spaceship as it tilted crazily. The other engine exploded as a fragment of the grenade shell flew into it. Stacy's dart gun slid across the piloting console and flew out of the open windshield. Abort the Alpha 201. I repeat, abort the Alpha 201, Stacy said over the intercom. She steered the aircraft to the left as it tumbled toward the ground. Unbuckling their seatbelts, Stacy and Lily jumped out of the aircraft right before it nosedived into the ground with a bang and a giant fireball. A whole platoon of dwarfs was crushed under the 10 tons of flaming spaceship. Lily and Stacy got to their feet and pushed their way through the dwarfs. Tara ran up to them. Was that your spaceship? She asked, accusingly at Stacy. Yep, Lily and Stacy said in unison. We've got no time to lose. Jake appeared behind Tara. I found a tunnel close to the dwarfs. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for Chapter 30. Don't forget to like and subscribe. In the description below, I've included links for me to find and purchase this book.